The Adams Archive.
The Secret Service seemingly found some sort of weird white substance, some powdery substance with some nose hairs in it inside of the White House. And we can only fathom what that would be, especially after the crazy response from the White House press secretary saying, "We have no idea what happened here. We must get to the bottom of this. Who could have been this person in the White House snorting cocaine? We don't know anybody that's a part of this family, a part of the presidential family, a part of anybody that would be in the White House that maybe has a cocaine addiction." So this article says, White House press secretary says Biden wants to get to the bottom of the cocaine found at the White House. I bet you do, Joe Biden. And here it goes. It says during Wednesday's White House press conference, press secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said Biden thinks it's incredibly important to get to the bottom of how cocaine found its way to the White House over the weekend. I wonder if he's really curious about looking into, how a seemingly, harmless laptop got dropped off at a laptop fixing place without his consent. It says, how determined is the president to get to the bottom of this? So here's the actual quote itself. Let's go ahead and listen in.
And turning to some breaking news, we have just learned that a formal lab has confirmed the suspicion that white powdery substance found in the West Wing on Sunday was in fact positive for cocaine. The discovery led to a brief evacuation of the White House Sunday night. Joining us now is NBC White House correspondent Mike Memoli. So Mike, where do things stand now? This is so unusual. You and I have covered the White House for years. I can't even fathom anything like this having been found before in the West Wing, and I go back to the 70s at the White House. So this is pretty wild.
It's absolutely extraordinary, Andrea. And this new conclusive test confirms what had been the preliminary field test conducted by D.C. fire personnel who were called in on Sunday night after the discovery of this suspicious substance by a uniformed officer in the Secret Service that was conducting a routine patrol of the White House. And so to recap on the developments that we've been reporting on yesterday, this was found, we understand, in a highly trafficked common area of the West Wing. It's an area where individuals, especially visitors, individuals who may be coming for instance, a private tour, might have been asked to leave some of their personal belongings before heading into more sensitive areas of the West Wing, which of course includes the president's, the vice president's office, some of the most senior officials' offices, as well as the press.
It's a totally public area that you just so happen to go into that has absolutely nothing to do with Joe Biden's son, who seemingly has a cocaine and crack addiction. And here's the White House press secretary responding to this, stating how willing and eager they are to get to the bottom of who this could be.
One more on cocaine.
One more on cocaine.
To get to the bottom who brought illegal drugs into the White House.
Secret Service is getting to the bottom of this.
I wonder how many questions at the White House has started with this. One more question on cocaine.
That's what matters, and it's under the
Listen to this. One more question on cocaine.
One more on cocaine. How determined is the president to get to the bottom who brought illegal drugs into the White House?
Secret Service is getting to the bottom of it, and that's what matters, and it's under their purview.
But the question was, how determined is the president?
The president thinks it's very important to get to the bottom of this. That's why Secret Service, which is under their purview, is looking into this, and they're going to look into what happened this weekend. So the president thinks
as the Secret Service shows up, and it's a man who looks seemingly much like Hunter Biden, just with a mustache. I have no idea how this happened, sir. Let me go ahead and clean that up for you. Man, what a mess. Could you imagine? I'm pretty sure they were on some sort of vacation when this happened. Could you imagine the conversation between Hunter Biden and his father when they found out that the day before they left for vacation, there was cocaine found in the White House? Could you imagine that conversation? Not that I would think Joe Biden would, remember the fact that his son is a cocaine and crackhead, but I guess meth, right? He just smokes a lot of meth. Was it meth or crack? I'm pretty sure it's methamphetamine, but I digress. I wonder how that conversation went. This goes, when pressed further of how determined Biden was, we just listened to that. It says, a reporter asked the White House press secretary whether the White House would support the prosecution of whoever brought the cocaine into the building. And she says,
yeah, thank you. If the Secret Service determines who brought the cocaine into the White House, does the White House support the prosecution of this individual?
I'm just not going to get into hypotheticals from here. Let the Secret Service do their job. It's under their purview. We are confident that they'll get to the bottom of it. I'm just not going to get ahead of this right this time.
and then the next question was, the president and the first lady, she says, and their family were absolutely not here this weekend.
And secondly, per the intrigue over the holiday, can you give any more details on where the Secret Service found the cocaine in the West Wing and how it got there?
So, as you know, this is under the purview of the Secret Service. They are currently investigating what happened over the weekend, so I would have to refer you to the Secret Service on all of this. But one thing that I can share, that I'll share a little bit more information. As you know, the president and the first lady and their family were not here this weekend, as you all reported on this, and as you also know that they left on Friday and returned just yesterday. Where this was discovered is a heavily traveled area where many White House, West Wing, I should be even more specific, West Wing visitors come through this particular area.
And not only can you imagine the conversation between Joe Biden and Hunter Biden, but can you imagine the job of Jean, whatever Saint Pierre her name is? What is her name? Jean Pierre. Could you imagine what she has to deal with when she comes in and gets a briefing on a daily basis about what she has to talk about and what's in her notes? And she sees that Hunter Biden very likely left cocaine in the White House. And now she, not Joe Biden, of course, who doesn't answer any questions, not Jill Biden, not Hunter Biden. She's the one who has to deal with the after effects of this. I would just imagine the look on her face when she realizes that she's the one who has to answer for Hunter Biden's crack addiction. All right, let's jump into Trump's response to this and see what he has to say here. Here's the response, although this might be just the first clip.
And turning.
Yep, that's the first clip. So it says, does anybody really believe that the cocaine found in the West Wing of the White House, very close to the Oval Office, is for the use of anyone other than Hunter and Joe Biden? Trump wrote. Here's the tweet, or the truth that came from Truth Social. And it says, does anybody really believe that the cocaine found in the West Wing of the White House, very close to the Oval Office, is for the use of anyone other than Hunter and Joe Biden? But watch, the fake news media will soon start saying that the amount found was very small, and it wasn't really cocaine, but rather common, ground up aspirin, and the story will vanish. Has deranged Jack Smith, the crazy Trump-hating special prosecutor, been seen in that area, in the area of the cocaine? He looks like a crackhead to me, says Trump. He goes on to say, where are the White House security tapes? Like the ones I openly and happily gave to deranged Jack Smith, which will quickly show where the cocaine in the White House came from. They already know the answer, but probably don't like it. Yeah, what? Do you know how many cameras are in the White House and you believe that we can't find out whose cocaine was sitting on the table in the Oval Office? Really? There's got to be more cameras in there than there is in a freaking Target in LA, right? Like, it's crazy that they think we're so stupid that they don't have video evidence showing who is snorting cocaine off of the counter. It says, this is by Kelly O'Donnell. It says the Secret Service said the investigation remains ongoing, that they have not yet determined the owner of the bag of cocaine. They are reviewing surveillance footage and entrance logs as a part of the investigation. It has not yet been revealed how long the bag of cocaine was in the West Wing. It says we have also reported that the Secret Service investigation will review security camera footage and entrance logs to try and figure out when the cocaine baggie was left and by whom. It says, here is what I've already reported. Substance was confirmed as cocaine. Small baggie was found Sunday inside the common area. at the West Wing entrance, where staff/visitors leave personal items like phones. President Biden was at Camp David with his son, Hunter Biden, when the cocaine was discovered and the White House evacuated. Hunter Biden, who was at the White House just 2 days prior to the discovery, has a long history of drug abuse, which has been revealed through his infamous abandoned laptop. The cocaine was initially identified as unknown item. Now, we probably don't even have to wait for this security footage to come out, because if this was Hunter Biden, he's absolutely going to be standing there with a selfie snorting this cocaine with some type of prostitute in the room with him. So it's only a matter of time, even if the Secret Service doesn't come out with this, that we know really for a fact who this was. Like, I'm pretty sure every single time ever that Hunter Biden's done drugs, he photographs it with a prostitute. So it won't be too long.